Hello students, as I promised you to make revision of some portion which majority of the students not properly understood. As per our interaction through Google Meet, few of the students requested me to discuss the theories of learning again. So I have decided to cover all the 4 theories of learning in 2 phases, 2 more classes. I will try to cover this up. So friend, as far as the completion of syllabus, unit 1 is concerned, I completed up to personality, the meaning, nature of personality, the factor affecting personality and theory of personality yet to be covered. So you should not be worried of that particular portion which has to be covered in personality. Just before that, I just want to revise the theories of learning. So as I told you that in this particular concept of theories of learning, I will explain many books. It has been given 8-10 theories, but I just will try to make you people very clear about the 4 major theories of learning, and they are classical conditioning theory, operant conditioning theory, cognitive theory, and social learning theory. Among which today I will explain classical conditioning theory and operant conditioning theory. Cognitive theory and social learning theory will be explained in my next class. So, dear students, classical conditioning theory I already discussed 2-3 times, but still I found you people had certain doubt in this particular theory of classical conditioning theory. This is the most interesting theory of all the learning theory, as I told. This particular theory was advocated by Ivan Pavlov. Ivan Pavlov, a Russian clinical psychologist, who just tried to give this particular theory in the form of an experiment that he did. In his experiment, he tried to make one thing very clear, that behavior of any creature, whether it is human, he is human being, or it is a creature or an animal, whether it is a dog, cow, or whoever it is, he learns from different subsequent events, different subsequent actions. कोई भी creature learn कैसे करता है, जब वो एक event के through, एक एक्शन, एक कंडीशन, एक सिचुएशन के थ्रू ही लर्न करता है प्रैक्टिकली. वो कैसे करता है, हाउ ही डज, आई विल एक्सप्लेन इन एन एक्सपेरिमेंट. I just want to make one thing very clear. I just would like to add that this theory is such widely accepted, widely popularized across the globe, and for this particular theory, Pavlov earned Nobel Prize in psychology. So students, what is classical conditioning? As I just told you, classical conditioning theory is based on series of events, series of action through which any creature learns. Or what are the series of action from which one learn? We will try to understand this particular concept learning, this particular concept of learning theory with help of an experimentation made by Ivan Pavlov with help of three. First it is a dog, meat, bell. Dog, meat, bell. And the outcome and the observation was based on the salivation. Salivation is nothing but it's something when we see food, when any creature sees the food, he always salivates. It's a very biological process. It's a very common process. मुंह में पानी आ जाना खाने की चीज देखने के टाइम जब हमारे मुंह में पानी उसको बोलते हैं salivation. The classical conditioning theory is based on three conditions according to Ivan Pavlov. Ivan Pavlov just in his experiment he just categorize his experiment. First it is before, so he divided into three: before conditioning, during conditioning, and after conditioning. The before conditioning, Pavlov in his experimentation he offered meat to a dog, which leads to salivation. It is a very common theory that whenever we offer a dog food to a dog, it's a very common biological response that everyone salivate. Likewise, when Pavlov offered meat to the dog started salivation. So it's a very common process. So what Pavlov termed meat as unconditional stimulus which leads to salivation, and salivation is a response that is unconditional response. Unconditional response. Anyone of among you ask the question, what is unconditional stimulus? Unconditional stimulus is that stimulus where we offer meat to the dog. That meat here is an unconditional stimulus which leads to response, that is unconditional response. When Pavlov offered bell to the dog, which is conditional stimulus, which is conditional stimulus which leads to no response. Which leads to no response. It's like if we offer, if I will offer a plate of chicken pakoda, when you are hungry, you definitely salivate. So this is the unconditional stimulus, and response is salivate. You will salivate. That is very unconditional response. But if I will offer this pen whenever you are hungry, then you may not respond. So unconditional stimulus leads to no response at all. Conditional stimulus leads to zero response. No response. So this is the first thing what Professor Ivan Pavlov trying to convey, that whenever the stimulus is unconditional leads to a response which leads to unconditional response, but whenever the stimulus is irrelevant, that is conditional stimulus, then that leads to no response. This is the first page what Pavlov wanted to convey. But in second page, when Pavlov offered both meat and bell at a time. So meat is unconditional stimulus and bell is conditional stimulus. When we offer both meat and bell at a time, so the response must be, the response must be salivation. Response must be salivation. So what we can say? We can say unconditional stimulus, conditional stimulus leads to unconditional response. Unconditional response. If the when the Pavlov, when Mr. Pavlov offered meat and bell at a time, he continuously offered meat and bell to the dog. At a time he offered and he just made this particular exercise continuously, and he found that the dog will salivate. That means it is a stage where the dog learned whenever the stimulus is conditioning stimulus. It means whenever the bell is there, he will salivate in front of the meat. So this exercise went for number of time. If this exercise will go on for number of time, definitely this leads to salivation, which is known as unconditional response. But what is the post conditioning? Means where the dog, we know that dog learned. The dog learned when Mr. Pavlov offered only bell, that is conditional stimulus, conditional stimulus. When Mr. Pavlov offered only bell, then the dog salivate. What is the condition? In this condition, you can say only bell, that is conditional stimulus, leads to salivation, because in this condition the dog learned that when we offer meat, at the same time we offer bell, which leads to salivation. If only bell offered to the dog definitely expect the meat. Although it is not available, he will salivate. To this kind of salivation is not unconditional response. It is a conditional response, because bell is a conditional stimuli. Conditional stimuli leads to conditional response. So here you can say conditional stimuli alone will create a response which is known as conditional response. This is the experimentation what Mr. Pavlov tried to offer, tried to make this how the subsequent event leads to a new exertion of new behavior, showcase of new behavior. Whenever 2 or 3 events goes on continuously, how this leads to a change in the behavior that occur in case of a dog. When dog didn't respond in front of the bell, leads to no response, but when both meat bell at a time offered, which lead to salivation. Later stage, if this goes for continuous time, only bell leads to salivation. Is it really enough to understand? It could be understood well if we understand with help of a practical example. Change of behavior leads to change in the action. So let us understand this particular theory in the context of practicality. Practical example, I told you that suppose in an organization, where the factory is a remote area and the office, the corporate office is there distant area or in the city, and the factory is there after far from the not very far, you can say 20 kilometers away from the office. So it is a daily routine for the chief executive officer and other managerial staffs from top and middle level management to regularly visit the plant site and look after how things are going. So in that condition, the worker of the factory area, they always maintain the cleanliness of the floor, of the window, of the different corner. They maintain the cleanliness, because if the top level managers, the executives come, they may punish them. For the sake of the fairness, they maintain the cleanliness of the factory area. And this exercise goes on for year. So when after year or 1.5 year, when after a few months or a year, when the top executives and managers stop visiting, inspecting to the office area, definitely they will have a habit and they will continue the maintenance of cleanliness in the office and factory area. What does it mean? It simply denotes that in the first condition, no inspection of top executive leads to dirtiness. Meat leads to salivation. It means no inspection, dirtiness, inspection, cleanliness. It is the conditional response, conditional stimulus. But in case if the man from the lower level or another same level worker, if we visit, no response. Understand? If the worker from their fraternity, अगर कोई भी वर्कर उनके लेवल का अगर वो विजिट करता है तो नो रिस्पॉन्स, लाइक वेल, ये कंडीशनल स्टिमुलस हो गया which leads to no response. Understood? But during conditioning, frequent visiting of top level executive leads to cleanliness. So along with the top executive and worker of his own, if they will combinedly come together, which leads to cleanliness at the later stage. If the top level executive will not come like meat, they will maintain the cleanliness even though the workers of his own standard, if they come, even they maintain it is their routine job. So this is the way how you can say behavior changes, response changes due to different conditions. This is conditional stimuli, unconditional stimuli, and its response, conditional response, unconditional response. Hope you understand this particular theory right now. So students, I just want to understand, we just try to understand the second theory, that is operant conditioning theory. Today, as I promised you to revise classical conditioning theory and operant conditioning theory. So let us understand operant conditioning theory. Operant conditioning theory. What operant conditioning theory speaks? First of all, let me tell you, it is given by the B.F. Skinner, American psychologist, sociologist. B.F. Skinner is the founder, propounder of this particular theory of operant conditioning. What operant conditioning speaks that every individual respond a specific behavior, desired behavior, depending upon what consequences they have. Understand? अगर तुम एग्जाम में टॉप करोगे तो मैं तुम्हें एक बाइक गिफ्ट दूंगा. This is usually parent speaks. So your behavior depend on the consequence. Understood? So what that is something what operant behavior. The behavioral change due to the consequence. So here B.F. Skinner advocated, propounded that change in the behavior of an individual depending on two. First, it is response, consequences. Consequences means result. The response, consequences. Result के ऊपर depend करता है हम कैसे अपना response को दिखाएं. How can we respond? It depend upon what result we will get. So here I can say in every person, every individual will try to show up the desired behavior. Every individual will show desired response, or you can say good response whenever they are being rewarded. Whenever they are being rewarded. What does it mean? If you will be rewarded, you will show the desired behavior as per the organization, as per the requirement. If you will not be rewarded or you will be punished, then you will not show the desired behavior. So what B.F. Skinner spoke? Undesired behavior, result undesired behavior because of if one is not rewarded or one is punished. Understood? If you will be rewarded, you will improve your behavior. Direct relationship between reward and desired response. Whenever you are not rewarded or punished, that means you will decline your desired behavior, positive behavior. What B.F. Skinner speaks? B.F. Skinner's model speaks that whatever response an individual shows towards the environment, it depends upon what result, what consequences he actually predicted from there. जो prediction रहेगा मेरा ये